And if you look at the signs here, it'll tell you what fish you can catch here. A good way to make sure that you have enough fishing points to be able to get the master and lip is basically to catch one of every fish up to that point. That will get you more than enough. You'll actually probably have enough to get his first or second up master complete his first or second task. You need 3,000 points to get the master, 4,000 for a ring of ice, and then I think it's 6,000 and 9,500. And if you get, he does give 2 fishing poles. He gives the spanner, which is a really good fishing pole, and then of course the master rod at 9,500. At which point you really don't need the master rod because alright, so, and that's what you have to do to advance the story. And I got to demonstrate fishing too. So that's pretty nice. And I might do a video on where to find some of the more, because some of the fish are a little harder to find than others. And they really only appear in, you know, specific... Ah, dang it. Didn't mean to miss. Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, I guess I could show you the egg magic. Basically, every turn you're an egg. It unlocks an additional one of these. I don't want to do that. So, Nina will guard as eggs. Ursula egg is really cute. It's got a little foxtail. Ah, dang it. I was kind of hoping that would kill him. So, yeah, see the second turn? If you get turned into an egg, your best bet is actually just to defend until you either turn back or if you want to use the third ability. The third ability is a little better than the other two. Could use boil, not boil. I don't know. Was it boil? Hard boil. The second ability. It turns you back to normal, and you could use it to turn back to normal if you've got some healing magic ready. I really like Ursula in this game. She's awesome. It's like everyone else is fighting with swords, and she brings a gun. She brings a gun to a sword fight, and that is amazing. Not enough RPG like party members do that. Like most of the time, it's like okay, with the exception of something like maybe Wild Arms, but can you really say that considering that the guns until you get to the third game in the remake of the first game, the guns are special equipment. I mean, they're special items. They're stuff you save for boss battles. You know, in the original Wild Arms 1, the main character, he has his cannon, but he uses a sword. And I do believe this right here is where the scene they cut out, by the way, is. But Ursula brings a gun to a sword fight, and that is awesome. I imagine you can catch fish in lots of places. You're on an island. There are worse places to be, you know, trapped. And back to Fou-Lu. He knows that. He built the place. Now go. You gotta admit, like, how would they have reacted if they actually, if they actually knew? Like, if they knew they were barring the way of someone like Fulu, someone as powerful as Fulu. Do you think they would have let him through or just ran away? But anyway, and for the final time in the game, we get to control Fou-Lu. Who dares? Who dares enter the sacred ground of my master? I think we figured that out now. A tour! Go now, I wish you to destroy the city. You can see the bitterness in Fou-Lu at this point in the game. Fou-Lu's a really sad character. That's why I prefer the end of the manga to the end of the game. And personally, I think the end of the manga is a lot more optimistic. And well, you know. You know what? As pointless as you might think this is, I think that if you sit there and you talk to Cray throughout this island experience, and then from after this, I think that personally, my view on this is that this actually helps Cray deal with something that happens later in the game. The whole coming to terms with the whole, you know, things that are out of your control. Yeah, and she stays. And it kind of this game has a message that I'm not really a fan of. That that we tend to our lives. It has both a good and a bad message. I think that, you know, the game centers heavily around destiny and things are fated to happen. But at the same time, it has well, not even undertones. It has, you know, it has the main characters actively fighting their destiny, you know, because Ryu's destiny is to meet with the Emperor and be absorbed by him, and for them to become one being. But he's resisting that, and it's a really, I don't know. Like I said, I have mixed feelings about the whole you have to do your destiny thing of this game, but at the same time, I do like the fact that the main characters are actively trying to change Ryu's destiny. Oh, by the way, I actually went last time. The happy status effect that the one plant enemy can give. What happy does is it actually disables any wills you have. So it's not a very powerful status effect to have cast on you, because your wills, with the exception of Ursula's her natural will, I would say that most of the other wills are pretty useless. Although I wonder if it would disable Ryu's dragon transformations if he got that on him, since that's technically his will. Huh. That is actually a good question. That would make for an interesting boss battle, I think. He goes in and he casts happy on all your characters, and you can't, you know, you need to hurry up and run a typhoon, Nina. Cyclone's good and all, but it's just not cutting it. We're just going to run straight there. And this time you actually don't have to do fishing. It's a cutscene. When we get back there, of course, because, you know. I also like the message in this. It's kind of a dual message, and you get both sides. Most of the time, you know, you never get to see the villain. That's one thing that I really, really like about this game. You know, some of the best games in existence are the ones where the villain, and I'm doing the thing with the hands that you can't see, but some of the best games in existence are the one where the villain is very, very visible. And I'm guessing at this point you've guessed that the final battle is going to be between Fulu and Ryu. That's really not a spoiler. It's something that they've been building up to the entire game. And here we are at the end of Fulu's scenario, where he is taking over the castle, the place, the capital of Cheeto, where we are headed. And he's destroying the city. I mean, he's, you know, at this point, it's just clear that a fight is in the works. And over the course of the game, we've seen Fulu get more and more bitter. And, you know, they could have... One of the great things about this guy, I didn't mean to run out there, is that, you know, you see Fulu's transformation into the final boss. I mean, he starts off as kind of, but then he, you know, Ryu and Fulu get both get two separate views on the world, and at the end of the game, their views of the world, they collide. So now we got to fight souped-up versions of the previous bosses we fought. They are no match for us. He has Serpent and Behemoth, and I would switch to them, except for the fact that Fulu can level up his ability, and it uses your level up, and I want to wait till I get enough points to level up the one that teaches you Shadow Walk. So I really don't want to use Serpent or Behemoth. Besides, Tyrant's way cooler anyway, and you just have enough AP for it. It's got 9,999 HP. Look at that. That's a mess, I will tell you what. Alright, so let's use Dark Wave. But, you know, I think it's a great... It's not as elegantly done as I wish it would have been, but I do think that it's a great thing that you get to see, and I think this is the first time we've actually seen this. You get to see Fulu's Tyrant Breath Attack. Also very Bahamut Zero-esque. But, like I said, it's not as elegantly done as I would have liked, but it's nice to see, you know, at the end of the game, you know, you have the hero and you have the villain, and the hero has his view on life, and the villain has his view on life, and you get to see throughout the game how the hero gets his, but the villain just has his. So, and in this game they actually, you know, they build up the final boss as someone that you've gone and controlled. You've, I dropped my mouse. You've fought battles with him, as him. You know, you've seen all of the terrible things that have happened to him. I mean, it's not something that, you know, it's just, okay, here's the boss, kill him. It's kind of a sad deal. This is also right here why I said it's not a really big deal, just use Tyrant.